A warrior must know how to use other weapons because he doesn't know who he's going to face on the battlefield. This one, just a second, show the way. This is called a bow, a 6-foot bow, a staff in English, against the sword. The helpful thing is that this is long, it's about 6 feet, against, matched with the sword, so he has distance. This has to be done skillfully, otherwise he doesn't have a chance. A swordsman is really, that sword is very powerful. So the bowman has to know how to fight against a sword. That means he must know the sword well. And in the same way, the swordsman has to know how to use a bow, so he'll expect what's coming. What's interesting is that in our school, this has been secret for many, many years, and it's really only been since the war. Well, I would even say 10 years, the last 10 years it's been opening up. And I think that's caused by media, the mass media we have around the world, especially things like YouTube, internet. Up until then, this was not even, many Japanese in the audience right now probably have never seen this before. That's how close it is. In fact, it's not even advertised in Japan that much, but we are doing it there. Every time the bow is hitting the sword, it represents hitting the body, and vice versa. The swordman is not aiming for the bow, it's only for training. We don't have contests. We can't. It's impossible to have a contest. We also don't have that black belt system which is used in judo, karate, aikido. This predates that. In this type of training, the people who are doing it are concerned with 3 things: knowing the target, knowing the right distance to cut to be effective with that movement, and third is timing. Target, distance, and timing. We're also very concerned with safety, because this is oak, solid oak. If you hit with one of these at the speed they're doing it at, it'll be horrific. Our next weapon is a naginata against a sword. Naginata is called halberd, is one term, and the other one is called glaive. Technically, it's a glaive in English, but people use the word halberd. Now this weapon, this is all staff up to here. From about here upward is a sword, a blade, a cutting edge blade. This was used in mass formation for distance, to be able to attack someone, stay away from them. And it's been written that one of the uses of this was, when this was used, it stopped being used after a couple hundred years. Let's see, by 1600 it was almost not used. I should say, let me back up. Mounted warriors played a big role in the early part of the martial culture. However, because of changes in the way fighting grew, that sort of dropped out. But when a warrior was on a horse, mounted horse, and attacking, many times a foot soldier had to fight that guy. Can you imagine a horse, a warrior mounted on a horse attacking you, and you're standing? That must be a terrible situation. Anyhow, as a horse is coming, he sidesteps and cuts the legs of the horse. The horse goes down, and then he uses that to finish off the warrior. That's one major use. In present-day Japan, and in many places around the world, this has been relegated to a woman's art. However, it's originally from a man. And the woman's art is much smaller and lighter. It's about that high. Lighter ends used for physical education in schools. It's becoming quite popular. But it's not limited to women, but it was meant for women. This is for men. Okay, now we'll watch it. Remember, he's got a blade at the end, and it's like a long sword. And the bottom end, that is for thrusting. Hey! 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 The way these techniques were developed and used for training purposes was to prevent anyone from understanding what's going on. The real techniques are hidden within these movements. That is to make sure that your neighbor in the next hand wasn't able to see it, so you can protect yourself fully. Remember, these arts were used during the feudal times. Okay, let's see, we're right on time. We got 2 minutes. Wow. I said there were 2 schools. This is the first school, and I'd like to mention again that these techniques you watched are basically the original techniques of fighting in Japan. Almost all of the existing martial arts in Japan today have come from this school. Of course, they branched and have changed, and they come later on. This is 600 years old, the oldest one that survived.